Okay.
Oh, what channel are we?
I believe we are live, guys. Just wait for the Twitch Twitch to update here. Make sure we're good to go.
I'm SCS_Paul, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. I watched somebody leave with their pod.
No, I got everybody here. Hey, what's going on, guys, on Twitch? Before we jump into this, I just want to make sure we're up and running a-okay. We're just going to do a bit of housekeeping in the meantime. You can see the other devs here running around. Just 1 second here. Oh, yeah, there we go. We are good to go. They're looking at my dumb face right now, so why don't I show them the game? Keep that open. Close that. Get that going. All right. Okay, so everybody's on mic. I think the game's showing up here. I don't know why the game's not showing up on the stream. Can you guys on the Twitch chat see the game right now, or is it just a black background behind me here? Riley, they're telling me my mic is quiet. So hang on a second.
It's not quiet. It's you're not even talking anymore, I think.
Okay. All right. There's the game. Look at that game. That's Astroneer. Okay, we're good to go. What's going on, guys? My name is Adam. I'm one of the co-founders of System Era. We are the developers of a game that just recently came out on Steam Early Access and Xbox Game Preview. I'm one of the artists on the project. With me on the call are the 5 other developers. We've got Paul. Say hi, Paul.
Hey, guys.
Paul's one of the artists. He's responsible for a lot of the man-made structures you see, so a lot of the vehicles, the modules, the tools, and all that kind of stuff. We've also got Riley. He's an audio designer.
Hey, I'm Riley.
And we've got some cool stuff planned for Twitch with Riley and doing some Foley capturing that we're trying to figure out, so do keep an eye on that. And then the other guys taking up the slack that the content guys aren't doing is the programmers on the team. So we've got our newest person on the team, Zabir. Say hi, Zabir.
Hey, everybody.
We've got Brendan, who is another engineer, and he focuses a lot on the multiplayer side and stuff between Xbox and Steam. Say hi, Brendan.
Hey guys, I'm sorry to report that Paul has just his Windows just BSOD'd on him, so he'll be a little while to get back into the stream.
Okay, so we'll get Paul back. That's okay. And then last but not least, our game design extraordinaire, Jacob Lethe, is with us as well.
That is me. Hello, how's it going?
And I've got with us Zabir and Jacob, so we are just missing Brendan. Are you here, Brendan? Oh, you're up at the station.
I'm dropping in right now.
Yeah, I see you. I'm gonna watch you come in here. So yeah, so our game has been out for 6 days. I think it's 6 days. I think today's the 6th day. Yeah, tomorrow's Friday, so we launched last Friday. Like I said, it is available on Steam Early Access and Xbox Game Preview, as well as the Windows 10 store for Game Preview. It's $19.99 across the board, USD. But one of the things I thought that would be kind of cool to mention to you guys is we are on the absolute latest patch on Steam, which the fellas just pushed about half an hour ago. So after you're done watching us, go ahead and get synced up on Steam and play the new stuff. And I will push the patch notes to the Steam forums and our forums, and you guys can see all the cool stuff that's in here. But what I wanted to do is just sort of jump into this. I thought we could all play and talk about how things have been going for us. Before I do that, Jay, because you are our designer, why don't you give us something to do, something fun that we can all work towards while we're sort of sitting here and chatting?
Well, I guess we can just do the sort of the typical thing of let's just build up our way to getting a spaceship. I don't know if within a couple hours we can research all the way up to the massive 4-slot spaceship, but if we could all ride in the same one, and that would be amazing. But we'll have to do a lot of research to do that.
Okay, sweet. So I'm gonna go on duty of trying to gather the more rare stuff. So I'll try to visit some wrecks and some of the delivery pods that you've set up here for us. And if somebody wants to grab resin and another person can work on compound.
I think more realistically, we'll probably just have to build 2 of the smaller spaceships. But I think it'd be great if we could all go to the same planet.
Yeah.
All at once. I think it'd be awesome.
All right, perfect.
I just want to mention, Adam said we are playing the latest patch, and the Xbox has gotten the patch to start rolling out. So they've told me that the mandatory date is midnight UTC of the 24th. That's going to be in about a day and a half. So people are already getting the patch on Xbox. The patch is also deployed to Windows Store for Windows, the UWP Windows 10 users. So everybody should be able to have this, all the latest fixes. This particular build that we're on has some much even more recent fixes, but all the platforms now have all the essential fixes that we've done since launch.
Do you want to talk about some of the, I guess, what are the top 5 things that we've patched recently?
We should really pull up a list. One that I can think of is when you load your game, there's no longer floating resources above your backpack. So that's a pretty big one. Other people can chime in with things that they remember too. There's quite a few.
So, obviously, the very biggest ones were the issue. There were some issues preventing people from launching the game at all. If you had certain CPUs and you were playing the Windows builds. So that was if you were on older AMD chips or older Intel chips, there was some problems there, and those have been fixed. Another big issue was there was a kind of pretty severe performance problem when you connected a rover to the tether network in certain circumstances, and that has also been fixed, as well as in general optimizing the tethers to really improve the performance impact overall. People were complaining about that, and Jacob did an awesome job, pretty much rewriting, not rewriting, but really modifying how they work in about a day.
Yeah, one of the things I think we should do too is let's quickly address one of the other performance ones that we've heard a lot of, which is that C++ dist. I think it's safe to say that's our priority right now. There are certainly people that are stuck on that. And Zabir or Brendan, you guys are focused on fixing that.
Yeah, I mean, I can talk about that a little bit. It's a operating system kind of configuration issue that we're having trouble tracking down exactly what the root cause is.
Mm-hmm.
We believe that.
Oh, I just lost Zabir.
Oh, sorry. It's probably because of a mismatch between Windows updates that are installed on your machine, but we're not 100% sure yet.
Okay.
It is something that we're looking at. Hopefully, we'll have a resolution soon.
Okay, sweet. Okay, guys, we have a platform at our base now. Who's here with me? Who is that? Who's at the base in the big suit? Oh, it's Jay.
That's me.
Oh, we lost a person here. I'm gonna steal something from their backpack really quick.
There's my corpse. I died about as close as you can possibly die to a base from suffocation.
Yeah, I've had it where I just arrived back at the base, and as the death animation's playing, my tether connects.
All right, I'm gonna bury myself here in a little grave. All right, we're good.
Jay, we just got a question on Twitch. It says, okay, I'm gonna mispronounce your name here. Racer EXE is asking, any spoilers on when to expect new research items?
That's a good question. So I think I've got one in the works. It's actually not an item. It's a new ability. You can think of it. It kind of leverages existing content, and you can use them in a new way, but you'll have to research it. And that one is going to be pretty exciting.
Is that the one you were showing us the other day?
Yeah, it has to do with the vehicle printer.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
before we continue on this, where the hell is all the compound on this planet? I haven't found any. Who's got compound?
That's good questions.
I saw some out, I think, kind of northwest of the base.
Here we go. Yeah. So there's also one southeast next to that fuel and the power chunk.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I see it. By the way, whoever is responsible for the draw distance increase, slow clap for you, because this is awesome. I can see really far now on some of the items.
Yeah, it was. We had to do some optimizations, but yeah, we were able to push out the drop distance a little bit.
Yeah, it's nice. Just collecting some compound here.
We can get some tethers out to that compound.
So the people that are watching in the chat, we'll get to some questions you guys ask. We've noticed some that have come up on the. Oh wow, I'm gonna die out here. Who's here with me? Take my stuff when I die. That's you, Jay. Take it.
I have nothing to help you right now. Sorry.
Take it from my body when I die.
Oh, don't worry. I'll wait for you. Actually, I might die too.
How do I just take the oxygen? Ah, there we go. I'm dead. Just take my compound. That's the only thing I care about right now.
I gotcha.
Yeah, so I thought we could talk about some of the common questions we get asked, and I think a lot of the Xbox users are wondering about split screen. And I know that's a kind of a tough one for us to ask because we're so early on.
But it's Zabir's favorite thing to talk about.
Yeah, Zabir's number one topic is split screen because it's so hardware intensive, and we're not even there yet. But it's one of those things that we sympathize that people want. I think it's safe to say it's going to happen maybe at some time if we're lucky, but it's definitely not one of our priorities right now. But maybe Zabir should talk a bit about that.
So I would love to do split screen. One of the biggest challenges with trying to do split screen on the Xbox is essentially you're having to run 2 viewports at the same time, and that almost doubles the CPU load that the game is going to experience. And so once we get to a point where the game is really optimized, that's when we start having enough of a performance envelope to do split screen. It's definitely something on my radar. And as we make performance improvements, the game will just get better for single player, and it'll allow us to start looking at trying to do split screen as well.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that when we read it, it's like an obvious request because our game is so co-op heavy to start. We can see that people just want to sort of sit back on their couches and play this, and maybe even on the PC in the future as well. But I think it's safe to say the team feels like we have bigger fish to fry, but it's one of those features that we're fans of, so I would be surprised if it doesn't ever make it into the game. Okay, I feel like we have an absolute deficit of compound right now. I have yet to build a single power source for myself.
I'll build you guys some. What do you want?
I just need solar or wind. Jay, on this planet, do we have resources spawning in the terrain? Could I start just sort of picking a hole and start digging down and hopefully come across some? I think this one.
There should be some. Yeah, I mean, if you can find some, they're a little bit more rare. You can just keep going.
Yeah, I might as well just start digging here.
Yeah, I was gonna say this not playing in developer mode. This is tough.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard being an Astroneer. I'm gonna keep. This is not the most exciting thing to do on Twitch, but I'm gonna while we're live here, I'm gonna dig down this hole and see what see what I can find really quick. See if I can't find this, because if I remember correctly, our mineral loads that spawn underground are a lot bigger than the ones on the terrain.
Yes, we're gonna need 2 vehicle bays, one for both of the spaceships, so that we can all fit.
Okay. I'm stealing. Oh, never mind. It's dark out. That'd be dumb. But there are two solar panels on the base right now. If anybody needs one in the future. Oh, there's a ship over there.
Yeah, that was all for you.
So we have a question from Ryclos. Hey devs, do you think adding aliens, or do you think adding the aliens? Does anyone want to talk about that?
Yeah, they're just asking, are we going to put AI and some creatures in the game, things like that. Who's got that one? Jay, why don't you talk about that? What do we think for creatures?
Sounds like a Jake question.
Yeah, sure. So there will be no aliens that kill you with guns. That's like kind of been a theme for us from the start.
Yeah.
It's always been we have a more pleasant experience when you come across dangerous life forms. I think there's a few things that kill you in the game right now, and they tend to be like fungus hazards and like gaseous clouds and that kind of thing. And we'll try to stay along that theme for the hazardous stuff. But I think we even want to have creatures that you can cooperate with that don't even try to kill you, that you can kind of befriend and can like help you find things. Maybe there's like a little gremlin that if you feed him something, he like goes and finds resources in the ground and brings them back to you. Stuff like that I think is far more interesting. I mean, we'll always have like big scary creatures maybe in the cage or something that will like freak people out when they're down there. But it all just has to be according to the theme, because I think like when you're on the surface and the colors are bright and it feels really great, we kind of want to stick with that. And then maybe when you go down into the caves and it gets all dark and dank, then we can have some of the more scary stuff.
Yeah, you mentioned an idea that we all kind of chuckled at the other day, which is like that little gremlin thing that would show up on your base and steal like a 1-slot item and just go running away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that we're big fans of. I mean, it's one thing that we could sort of talk about really quickly is one of the ideas that we all loved about Astroneer when we were working at our other jobs and we were like, holy crap, this sounds like a really cool idea, is we weren't interested in making Astroneer this sort of adversarial type of game where there's guns and there's shooting and it's PvP, things like that. We think that there's a lot of games that already do that, and they do it way better than what we're interested in trying to achieve. And we wanted to build this game that was truly about exploration and being lost and finding yourself on these planets and surviving the elements and research and discovery and all these verbs that are really fun to us. And I don't think anybody on the team has been that excited about like introducing weapons and like combat and stuff like that. That's not to say that we'll never go there, because again, things change as we go, but it's just not one of those ideas that excited us early on. But again, we're building this in early access. We listen to your feedback all of the time, even though we might not get to it. We are reading as much as we can and sharing all the interesting things with each other. But I think that's a good point to make about that, is it's not one of those ideas that we are extremely excited about when we first started talking about the game.
Yeah, I think you can incorporate challenges from creatures in different ways without having to kill them. So I mean, like, let's say there's this thing that's running at you. Instead of like whipping out a Uzi and like shooting him to death, you could just dig a hole in between you and him, and he falls into it, and maybe it doesn't kill him. He like burrows underground because he gets frustrated or something.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of more interesting ways that we can handle creatures besides just blowing them up in the face.
Yeah. Okay, guys, just a
Well,
little
why-
update. I've got us a research thing. Wow, I know my own game very well. We've got a research module at the base. We have no power for it. It looks like we're about to build a printer as well. I got a few compounded if anybody needs any on me. We also have some power sources, but it's nighttime, so they're not doing much right now.
We need a smelter first.
Yeah,
Or we need
yeah,
to scout some compound. I got some malachite. We can go find.
There's a smelter on the way here. It's just building, so you can use that if you want.
Great.
There we go.
So, Jacob, while you answered that one question, like 80 more popped up. Shadow XenoX, what happened to automation? I remember you guys said you've been working on it hard for 3 months before release, and now there's a little sub beta. When will it be coming? And it seemed pretty developed in the trailers.
Yeah, so automation is one of those things that the fully finished version of automation could have so many interesting bells and whistles that we could like go on and on forever about. I mean, there's this. I think this game eventually lends itself to very like Factorio like game mechanics, where there's even like programmable elements, and you're kind of, if you want a large amount of resources, you don't have to necessarily just sit there and dig them all at once. If you're doing some big project, you can kind of set up a base pipeline that funnels all the resources through, refines them automatically or something, and there could be some interesting verbs and widgets for that. In the short term, I think what he might be referring to there is some of the rails that we've shown off before.
Yeah, especially
and
that was build.
Yeah, exactly, and that was like in the build at some point, and then we cut it just for time's sake. But what was interesting about that is the rails totally influenced how the current base modules are set up. They're designed specifically to eventually just support Rails straight up. And so like if we had never prototyped that, I think they would have been designed a lot differently. It would have been a lot harder to funnel in later. And so the way they're set up right now is like, if you look at like the smelter, for example, it's just got like a conduit going out the back, and maybe all we have to do to get Rails in the game is have a new principal item that maybe you research. That's like, it's like a little rail hub, and you just slap that on the back of any of the buildings, and that gives you some options for like where the rail resources go. And so we're already connecting these different base items together. They can, and then all the rails will do is they'll just pass resources back and forth to each other. And I think that's an example of a kind of feature that will actually add, apart from a big update. We can just like put rails in, and that'll just be in the game. And then when automation comes along, that'll be like the much more heavy duty sets of things.
Yeah, and the stuff that you've already been showing for the rails has been pretty damn exciting, dude.
It's super interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil the update too much, but imagine these buildings on vehicles as well, and what you can kind of do with those, and building like resource trains that are like funneling resources along the train. I think that's just like super interesting where we can go with this.
Yeah, I'm pretty. At least the stuff that you were showing the last few days has been, pretty damn exciting, I think. Okay, so what's our sit rep here on the base? What are we at? I see a printer. I see a research station. I see a smelter that's currently smelting.
We don't yet have the printer. We need that copper over here.
I just use a copper for a wind vane. I'm sorry, I'm so selfish.
All right, I gotcha. There we go. Anyone find any aluminum ore? We could build a bunch of vehicle bays that way.
Yeah, I thought I saw when we were going. I'm gonna go there again. Paul, why don't you talk a bit about sort of what you're up to with the man-made stuff? I mean, what state are things at when people look at it now? What can we sort of expect going forward?
There's pretty much not a single piece of art in the game that I don't want to go back to and polish up. So I've been working on the backpack right now. The smelter needs a lot of art love. All the vehicles need a lot of art smeared on them. So that's what I've been kind of working on for the past few weeks since launching.
Yeah, and if anybody is interested sort of in the design sense and sensibility that Paul comes from, you can always check him out on Twitter and go look at his portfolio. He's, in my opinion, one of the best science fiction designers, and we just happen to have him working with us on this game, which is great. So you can sort of have that expectation of where the style that we're approaching with this, and where things might go with that. You can find it. Go ahead.
I appreciate the kind words, Adam. Stylistically, the industrial design of Astroneer has always been kind of a fusion between like Fisher-Price, Mattel, and like NASA aesthetics. So we're always riding that line between like cute and functional, which is a lot of fun to explore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say Paul has probably the hardest job in the entire universe, because since we're such a in-world kind of game, like where all the UI elements are just built into the modules, that's just like so constraining. But he's really knocked out of the park with some of the stuff, and I think like the ability for the modules to visually kind of indicate what they do is a large part of why the UX can work at all. I think if we didn't have that, it would just be a mess.
I'm gonna go ahead and build this as a storage module. I'll put it on one of these nodes that currently has a solar rack on it, just because we need to start collecting more of the rare resources, and I want a kind of place to quickly drop them when they're coming in. So is that aluminum on the vehicle bay? That's there because we want to build the vehicle bay, right? So we're just looking for one more aluminum.
Yeah, and we've got that smelter that we can use too. So.
Oh, so here's a really good question that I saw that I think is really good, Jay, for you to take some time and talk about. And it's talking about, like, I'm going to paraphrase a few of the things because I've seen it come across the Twitch chat already, is sort of what do we think about players that pitch their ideas to us, when they write these suggestions down, or, we've had people that have emailed us, like, the nitty-gritty stuff, like, oh, I think it needs to take this long to build, it's going to have this resource value, this sort of printing recipe behind it. Also to people that are just sort of like, please put guns in the game. Like, they have a very quick suggestion. Sort of, what is your take on this, and sort of how do we weed that into our development process?
I think it's always a balance of kind of protecting the vision of the game versus making sure that you're staying humble and paying attention to your own blind spots. And so people coming and seeing the game fresh have a perspective that you do not have. And if you're not incorporating that perspective, you are doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, like if someone does not get the game and does not get the core of like the vision and the experience, and like comes in and is like, I wish this game was all these things that are my favorite game. Yeah. Like, that's not going to make the game better. That'll make it a different game, but it won't make it the better version of Astroneer.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's important is that we have a direction that we want to take the game in, and we try to illustrate that in the roadmap, in the first pass of the roadmap anyway. Crap, I'm about to die out here again. Oh, I think I found oxygen. And a lot of people understand that, and they get that, and they come at us with those ideas. We also get a lot of stuff that's just like sort of quality of lifestyle suggestions that we get. But yeah, I think our biggest thing is we're pushing the train in a certain direction, and then the ideas that come through that sort of remedy that are great. And I think one thing that is important to say is that at least one person from the dev team has probably read every idea that we've ever been sent in. Between myself, scrounging the forums and our Twitch, and the other guys that are getting the emails, and Jacob sort of doing a bit of everything there, there's a good chance that we've read pretty much all the ideas that have come through, and if we haven't, then we probably will. But I think it's a safe thing to say that we're not going to go ahead and put every idea in, because we have to sort of see where these things fit into our development process, or into the direction we're going in.
Yeah, the thing I like to say is we're not Astroneer developers, we're Astroneer gardeners. And so it kind of has this the game has a life of its own, but then it's also being managed by us and kind of shepherded by us.
Wow, we still haven't found. Oh.
Adam, I guess turn up your mic a little bit, Adam, or maybe turn up the Discord chat up a little bit or down a little bit, either or.
Okay. Why am I quiet?
That's what some people are saying.
All right, give me 1 second here.
Another question. So people are asking a brief 30-day roadmap. Like what's the next 30 days would be?
That's a great question.
So I can talk a little bit about that. I think the 30 days might not be like a guarantee for this update, but I think we've already mentioned that the first big update will be named and themed as the creative update, and that will include as many things as we can think of and accomplish in that time that make the game sandbox more complete and dots connected, if you will. So I have this analogy where the game is like the set of mechanics are like dots on a whiteboard, right? And what we can do to make the game more in depth is to just connect those dots, create interactions between existing elements, and just like open the door for people to be more creative. And so that's what we're going to be focusing on on our first update. And this will be things like, I mean, we've already got terrain deformation, building the engine, and Brennan getting the networking working for that was like the hard part. The easy part in theory is just like kind of filling out the features, making it so that people can have different size brushes. That's a big one people have requested. I've got like a clever way that we're going to do that though. And so, yeah, so it's allowing people to like use the tools in the game to the fullest extent that's possible. And so there might be like new hazards and stuff that we're always putting out with updates. There might be new things in the world that you can find, even new vehicles. I think that stuff's kind of ongoing, but there'll always be a theme with the updates that we put out. And the first one is going to be the creative one.
Yeah, when you say creative, I think it's a good thing to know that we're not necessarily saying like a creative mode here. It's just like allowing players allowing players to be more creative when they're playing our game, whether it's outwitting the game or building things and stuff like that. I think that's a good distinction to make.
Yeah, I've always kind of thought of the starting planet as like as creative mode light. Obviously, you still have to worry about some things, but if you're allowed to just stay on the starting planet as long as you want, and it's like relatively safe. There's not going to be things that are going to come and like rip your head off. And yeah, I think like you can work the game into, if you're clever, especially when we start having more automation stuff, you can work the game into a state where you've solved all the survival problems, and that's like you can hang that on your hat. And then you can just kind of go to town with all the creative stuff as much as you want. Yeah.
Obviously, in the next 30 days, the launch has exposed all kinds of glitches, and there's going to be a lot of people out there saying, "Hey, you should be fixing all these glitches before you do new features." And so I think Sabir and I will be the ones primarily focused on a lot of the bugs, while we let Jacob work on more like prototypical features. And I think the highest priority bugs for us right now are if we consider performance a bug, then getting performance under control, so that you can play the game for unlimited amounts of time and never get that kind of frame rate degradation that some people definitely experience. Other than that, there are some glitches with the terrain, especially in multiplayer. You can get cases where there are cracks and seams that open up in the terrain, and so we'll get a handle on those and get those fixed. And I think by the time we have our first major update, a lot of that stuff will be nice and polished and cleaned up.
Great.
Okay, so
just 1 second. Just 1 second there, Riley. Just a quick sit rep on the base, just so we know how we're progressing. We now have a vehicle bay, one vehicle bay. Jacob, we've got a functional printer. We have a functional research station, smelter, and a bunch of pods that are just sort of waiting for additional modules. So we are making progress.
I'm just like having fun building a shell around the base.
Yeah, thank you, because I noticed one storm kind of flirted with us a little bit, but it didn't come through.
Yeah, I've been getting pretty sidetracked.
It's easy to get sidetracked. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
So,
go ahead, Riley.
Yeah, we have like a zillion questions. So, one question I've seen a lot of is cross-platform play between Windows and Xbox. That's one that we've talked about before. And Brennan, you want to talk about it?
I forgot to mention that. So cross-platform play between among the Windows Store games. So obviously, Astroneer is an XBA title. So that means if you bought it on Xbox or if you bought it through the Windows Store, you have it in both places. And so the game, we're very, very close to supporting cross-platform multiplayer between those two systems. Cross-network multiplayer, as in between Xbox Live and Steam, is a different beast entirely. And so we don't have that on the near-term horizon. But as we get into features like dedicated servers, we definitely want to allow people on all platforms to connect to the same servers. We're going to be exploring that with a lot of gusto.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that definitely excites us. I mean, the multiplayer component is, I think, the one that sort of all made us raise an eyebrow when we first started spitballing about what Astroneer could be, and ideas like that are certainly the ones that got us excited.
Timeline-wise, I think you can expect multi-platform XBL multiplayer to be working within a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks. The other stuff, the other multiplayer stuff, it's on the roadmap. We'll get a more clear schedule out for that stuff pretty soon.
Cool.
So do we want to beeline it for a shuttle, or do we want to do a rover and do some exploring here first? Is the goal just to get off of here as quick as we can?
A rover would help build the shuttles, because I mean we're kind of limited in being able to find resources without a rover.
All right, if my fellow astroneers don't mind, I'm going to switch us over to a rover on the vehicle bay, and we only need 2 more compound to get one rolling. And I also found a wreck that had a seat that's close by, so we could have 2 seats on there if we want to get 2 people.
Okay, we have a few questions about buildings, and ones that you can go inside or out of, ones that have walls and doors.
Yeah, so up until a couple days ago, I was scratching my head to exactly how we were going to eventually have interiors. Some new ideas have emerged recently that will make that possible, but it won't be short term probably for interiors. But we kind of have to solve the question of how do you actually build these things. Like mini games, you just like click one button and it's like, oh my gosh, I got a whole base. But like our theme has always been like that you use the machinery and you use the resources that you've acquired to build up from something. And so whether it's, I think like maybe something like having a building machine that you can put on the back of a rover or something, and like drive around and place plots and like build off of those. I think we definitely do eventually want to have interiors. It's just kind of a tricky design problem because you have to teach that mechanic, and like everything in the game, we want to be very intuitive. But I think we'll get there. I think when it does work, it'll be pretty neat, and it'll work together with all the other mechanics too. Because let's say you do build this giant interior, you can put like a smelter indoors and build things off of the interior slots, just like you build them off of these little outside chassis slots too. I think it'll just work really well with everything that's already in the game. Just kind of add that level of depth.
I got a good one. Sorry, go ahead, Riley. Go ahead.
Oh, this is if you're on the topic, just keep going. Then
yep.
I have another question.
No, I actually have a different one as well. So you go ahead and ask yours, okay. And I'll follow up.
Well, this is Brennan always gets the exciting ones. So how about Mac and Linux, Brennan?
Mac and Linux. Mac and Linux, they're both something that we want to get done. I think we'll see Mac OS coming first because we're better equipped hardware-wise to get that going. Linux, and it's also like being realistic, it's the much bigger market right now. Linux is something that as we get dedicated server support online, because Linux is such a popular operating system for dedicated servers. I think it'll behoove us to get Linux support going. Especially because when we do get dedicated servers, we want people to be able to purchase their own servers from various places, and we're going to work out some ways to kind of ease that process for people and have whitelisted servers available. And we want people to have as many options as possible. So I think both Mac and Linux are going to get some serious attention in the coming 6 months.
Awesome. So before I ask my next question that I've heard a lot of, does anybody have either a oxygen tank on them that I could take, or titanium that I could build one with?
One way to get that is to research a bunch of things. Although I actually made it a little bit less common that you get a titanium from a research item in this last build.
Son of a because I see some compound. I see some compound that's super far out, but I don't have the capacity of oxygen to get it.
Yeah, the game is not balanced.
What was that?
I was gonna say. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I just said that we got a nice like kind of fun, tough starting area here where we have to kind of really explore and go far out to get some of the early game resources.
Yeah, we haven't played together as like a group in a little bit, and I think what's interesting is with the different resource distributions that we have now, it actually feels much more of a challenge than it used to. I kind of expected when we were gonna jump in here that we could just be like, oh, now we're 4 times faster. But what's interesting is that with 4 times as many people, you also use up the resources around the base 4 times faster too.
Yeah, it's great.
So yeah, I think it works really well now.
I might have already made it to this compound. So the question I wanted to ask that I saw somebody mention, and I'm not sure if it just got fixed in the current patch, but if you could talk, Brennan or Zabir, a bit about the issues with AMD and where we're at with those. Because somebody just asked.
Yeah, so I can.
It's already gone by, but somebody asked.
That.
Go ahead.
So we were using. So I guess there were a couple of issues with the AMD chips. The first one that we discovered right away was that I was using an instruction that it's a SIMD instruction that AMD did not support, that Intel chips did. And so we very quickly found the compatibility issue, and we were able to use an alternative instruction. And that fixed a subset of users. The next thing we found is that the built-in audio system in Unreal 4.12, that's the version we're shipping Astroneer on, has a bug where the audio system interacts poorly with again, specifically AMD chips. And so luckily we were able to track down which audio features we were using that were causing the issue. And so we got those, we basically just turned off those particular features. We plan to get the audio features back online, specifically like reverb and some of the other advanced effects. But those were the 2 issues that were specifically affecting AMD chips.
I'm not sure. Hands up in the stream if you know what SIMD means. I think Zabir just threw around a lot of terms there, which we can go into maybe in like a programmer-centric talk one day.
So I think it's on our table. We are just to sort of summarize what Zabir was saying. We're fully aware of it. We are aiming to fix it. It sounds like a possible solution.
It is fixed.
It is fixed.
That's what we were saying.
Sorry, it is fixed.
Yeah, the AMD issues should be fixed. I mean, you still may experience some lower performance.
Yep.
But that's more general, just kind of across the board.
And is that
specific issues? That were causing the launch problems with AMD.
Mm-hmm.
They should be totally fixed. And the having to run with dash no sound, that should also be totally fixed. So.
And is the AMD stuff? Is that in the patch that we just published before going live on Twitch, or was that one that was recently done?
It was done in 0.2.108.
Okay, great, sweet.
Okay, so there's been a couple questions that I kind of would lump into all one, which is like being able to delete save games, being able to like make a private match, being able to kick players from your game, all that stuff. I think falls under this kind of quality of life improvements. That we're. I don't know, Brennan or someone want to talk about that. It's basically things that we're working on, but it's just a matter of time. And also, I guess that goes for more options and settings to actually change.
Yeah, all that stuff is going to be worked on. Certainly, it was just right after launch, we were absolutely prioritizing issues that were preventing people from playing at all, and those are always going to take priority over more sort of quality of life issues, like you call them. And once we've got all the problems that are preventing people from having any experience sorted out, then we're going to kind of run down that priority list of which of those quality features we think are going to have the greatest impact on the most people, and just get them done as fast as we can.
Yeah, and specifically surrounding the options menu, that's something we've heard a lot about. So it's on my plan, hopefully in January or February, to expose out more options that allow people to scale the game on lower end hardware to also, like if you happen to have a new GTX 1080 you can turn on all the bells and whistles. And we also want to be able to say, oh, well, if you're running on very low-end graphics card, you want to be able to turn off a bunch of graphics features as well. So January or February.
Great. Okay. Quick sit rep. Jacob just stole our rover, but I'm sure he's not here to troll us. He's probably
No, I didn't. It's
it's right there.
It's
Oh,
here.
I'm trolling you guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, rover's here. So we have one rover. We have 2 vehicle bays. Or wait, we have 1 vehicle bay and another one that just needs aluminum. So we should take that rover and try to find some. Jay, do you want to do that? Do you want to go try to find some? Or I could do it actually. Why don't I do that? I'm on.
I'm in a cave looking for some right now.
Okay, I'll go see if I can find some. I'll get the heck out of here. Well, you guys keep building up that base there. Who's building that wall? That looked pretty good too.
I'm kind of thinking of turning it into some like ramps and fun stuff right now for that rover.
Oh man, don't say that. We'll get too distracted. We'll never get off this rock. What do I got here? Oh, this is the one I was already at, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna steal this research item. Are we able to research right now? Is that module up and running right now?
Yes, we do have a research bay.
Okay, sweet. Also, I'm not sure which one of you guys has a keyboard from the early 90s that is about 50 decibels when typing, but it's one of you guys.
It is probably me. My keyboard's really close to my mic.
Okay, I'm heading back with a space barbecue to do some research on. Actually, oh, this is the one I rarely see. Look, I'm gonna take it out and look at this for a second. It's like a little mushroom. It's like a little cute little mushroom there. Oh, I'm so happy. I used to, when I was building that or modeling this one, every time I put it in the world to test it, I would never. Oh crap! I would never find it, and I think this might be one of the first times I've ever found it. All right.
Okay, here's one. Itchy, twitchy, Twigger fingers asks, "Will you fix fall damage for lesser gravity?"
Oh yeah, I think I noticed this yesterday. Jacob, you were talking about that before. The gravity issue, especially when you like fall to the center of the Earth, you still kind of die when you touch something. So different
yeah, it just needs some work. The way it's computing it is not entirely correct. That's one way to put it.
So I just researched and I got unlocked storage. Is that a bug or did I just unlock like a bigger storage?
So it's a large storage.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the truck storage. It should be called truck storage to fix confusion, but
okay, sweet. So I'm gonna head out again. We're still on the hunt for aluminum. Right, that's what we're looking for.
And we're like more compound. There's none around here.
Yeah.
I am like lost in a cave somewhere, and I'm gonna die.
Rip.
Well, it's worth a shot. I'm standing on aluminum ore, suffocating.
Okay.
Which is not helpful.
Just I don't know which way the wall's facing, but we have a sandstorm coming from the northeast. It's headed southwest. Hold on to your butts.
I also built a subterranean room. There's an entrance near the vehicle printer, I think.
Okay.
Is there a roadmap for modding support? This game would be so much fun to mod.
One thing I'll say, I don't know if we have a definitive answer on that. I think a lot of us are fans of mods in games, but we're also fans of those games being awesome before the mods come in. And I think that's I mean, somebody else chime in here and tell me if I'm wrong, but I think our approach is we want Astroneer to be the best version it can be before we expose it to mods. But maybe that happens sooner than later or later than sooner, I'm not sure. But I think that might be a fair response.
Oh, Jacob can spit on that, I think.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, the sandstorm is purple.
I'm gonna defer to somebody else. Be like, hey, Brendan can talk about that.
Well, I mean, for one, anyone can mod it right now.
Yeah,
there's no stopping people.
Yeah, there's no
exactly.
stopping people. But like I said, we're fans of games that support mods. With my background as a former co-owner of Polycount, I've got a huge interest in the Steam Workshop. I think that that's a really good thing for games. I think that at this point, though, we're so early in the development of this that we really just want to make sure that Astroneer is exactly kind of what we want it to be before we probably officially support it. But we're never going to unofficially support mods or just say no to modding. I don't think, assuming it's not completely breaking the game for us to develop it. I think that's probably a good way to put it. That we are fans of games with mods. but those games need to be great on their own as well.
Yeah, I think modding works best when you have a really, really good kind of base to work off of. And I think the games that do modding the best also have they also make it really easy for their users, and they add
Mm-hmm.
they have really easy ways to replace content or to add new scripting. And so we don't really have that yet, and so that would be some technical work to get done.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't think we want to expose a whole bunch of hooks into the game right now and then have a bunch of people build mods, and then the next month when we make a bunch of fixes, end up breaking everybody's mods, right?
Yeah.
We want to have like a little bit of a more of a solid foundation before we start exposing those hooks out to mod developers.
Oh man, I'm way far away from the base. Oh shoot, I didn't leave a breadcrumb. Oh, I think it's okay. Okay, I see the marker. Just trying to find some
You guys are so
content.
terrible at this game.
Oh god, be quiet.
Learn how to play noobs.
I'm just looking for. Oh, I ran out of power. Shoot.
Yeah, this is particularly a hard map.
Yeah, we did not get a good dice roll on that compound. Although, like I said, if you guys just dig in the ground, like kind of Minecraft style, you just kind of pick a spot and go to town, you will come across resources.
But you need power for that, and to get power, you need compounds.
Or a generator, like I have.
Yeah, I built a generator and stole it for this rover so I could get away from you guys.
Give me one of those things.
I've been watching Adam for you guys. He's been stealing all the best resources and using them on himself.
You're not supposed to tell him my
I
secret.
did that with the copper to get myself the generator.
He's got
all of the organics.
To counteract the selfishness on the team, I've built some copper and aluminum. If anybody wants it, they can just have.
Oh wow, you're such a team player. Thanks, man.
Adam's got a wind turbine and a generator with him, and the rover.
Yeah.
What the heck?
I'm doing it for the team though. Come on.
We haven't researched filters yet, have we?
No. Although I am coming back with an organic research.
Don't make any filters though. Those use compound, and we need that.
I'm just having so much trouble leaving the base. I keep running out of oxygen.
Just breathe
Where did
less.
that rover go? Or did Adam steal the rover too?
Yeah, I stole the rover. I'm coming back. Jeez. Man, being an Astroneer is selfless. Okay, here we
You
go.
guys are asking too many questions to keep up with. Will you be able to paint terrain in the future? So that's another thing Jacob's working on right now, right?
That is a hope for the creative update, actually. I think that's if you could, and I guess I'll talk about this. If you could go to different planets that have different color terrains and suck up all that color of terrain and bring it back and build things with it, that would be awesome.
Can we? This is important. Can we mix the colors together?
See, yes, I'm hoping for that too. It's sort of a technical challenge, but if you want, you could, in theory, get any color under the sun by mixing different colors together. We even talked about, and I don't know if we'll get this in, dyeing terrain. So maybe if you can collect plants that are different colors, those you can turn those into dyes that you can infuse into the terrain and change their color. So yeah, the possibilities here are endless. You can teach people color theory with a video game about space. That'd be
There you go.
awesome.
All right, I'm gonna research one more thing. I hope it gives us something gnarly.
Maybe you should research some altruism.
Oh, dynamite. Wait, is that dynamite? What is that? That's dynamite. Oh wait, no, that's coal. All right.
Where'd you find that?
I researched a organic chest.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Okay, how about narrative?
That's a good one. I saw somebody talking about that. Who wants to take on that one? Since none of us are writers.
Well, I guess I'll say I love the idea. I think we can have some alternative future kind of narrative about what's happened in kind of space. Like we can make up narratives behind like the Hubble telescope or Sputnik and whatnot, right? And have this kind of a parallel universe narrative that we kind of weave into the Astroneer universe.
Yeah, all I'm gonna say is just pay attention to the things you can find in the world.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Yeah, we have an idea. Like narrative is one of those things that it's going to be really special to us to develop it. and we have a general idea where we're taking it, but I don't think we're going to talk about it too much. And that's just because, you know, part of the thing about making a discovery is it actually being like intriguing and mysterious. And some of you guys have been finding those things already and writing about them, which is great. And it gives us a chance to sort of slowly develop it. We are all developers. None of us are writers, so we do take our time on the things that we don't know too much about. Who stole the rover, by the way? Name yourself. Who stole it?
It's sitting right there, man.
Where? Oh, geez, there it is. God, my eyes. Okay. I'm going to go on a big compound run and see if I can just fill us up here with some compound. We need power first, though.
Oh, I
don't know. Is
you guys
that
don't mind.
before we move on from narrative? Is that a good enough answer? Do you think is that
I think it's fine. I mean, it's gonna be slowly trickled out. It's not all at once right here, right now.
Yeah.
I think maybe one more thing to say about it is that like I've always been interested in the idea of introducing narrative that fits the new features that we've created. So like if there's a narrative element in the game, we want it to like leverage the new stuff and be like, and so like maybe for creativity, there's like something that you can find in the game that has to do with the new stuff that we put out. Just kind of encourage people to use the new features and make it easier to talk about for fans.
Sorry, go ahead, Riley.
Oh, I was just laughing because I was watching you lost your solar panel when you drove away.
Oh, did I? I didn't need that stinking solar panel anyway. Oh god, I got organic. I'm just trying to look for some compound.
Guys, we got a shuttle, finally.
Oh, I found compound and a cave. Well, we have 2 vehicle bays now, right? Or no, just one.
Still just one. I think we have some aluminum though for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's another one, but it's more for Paul. Can you talk about? Oh wait, that's someone else's. And I already lost the question, but it was talking about animations for characters and stuff like that.
Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's only just going to come in more time. Again, it's more polish, more animations, more emotes.
Yeah, those emotes. I think we'd love to get more of those in. They're kind of like the way of communicating in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I love like if you're literally confused about something and you're playing with somebody, you can just do the confused emote, and then they can go and like point at the thing that you're supposed to do or whatever. I think we really want to play into that.
Yeah, we did have
that out.
It is a good segue. I saw earlier in the stream when we first started, somebody asked about in-game chat, text chat, voice chat. What is our plans with those, especially when we move into dedicated servers? I think that's a good one. I'll kick it off and just say that, and somebody else can take over. But it's, you know, in-game chat, like actually typing out, wasn't really something that we were all too fond of. And one of the things that we particularly liked was this idea of sort of embracing an emoji system. And before I pass this off to somebody else to talk about, I'll just show what I'm talking about. You'll notice when you're playing Astroneer that you kind of, when you click, this little icon comes down. And what are you laughing about, Jacob?
Oh, I was just standing over Zabir's corpse and playing the confused emoji. I was like, how did this guy die?
So you'll notice that when I click, this little icon pops out. It's just a upside down green triangle. And I think one of the things that we're interested in is developing this sort of communication system with strangers where you're not just sort of typing it out or using mic, you're sort of using emoting through that way. One is just to avoid sort of aggressive behavior through typing and chatting, and us having more control over, you know, the sort of moods that people go through when they're communicating. And the other thing is that if you're working with somebody, obviously you're going to want to be able to chat with them and sort of organize yourselves, and the emoji system isn't really good for that. And that is where sort of voice chat comes into play. And right now the platforms that we're on offer their own in-platform systems tools for that. So, you know, Steam's got voice chat, Xbox has voice chat, and that way you can kind of guarantee that the people you're doing that with are already on your friends list. They're not necessarily strangers.
Yeah. Did somebody say the word journey? I think I heard someone say journey.
Yeah.
As like an example of, like, if you do it this way, you can kind of avoid the annoying griefiness that a lot of games suffer from, because we just overall want to be a really pleasant experience.
Oh. Why don't we have a button for the headlamps? When are we gonna be able to turn off headlamps and save some of that?
That's a good question. Yeah, right now the headlamps don't even suck power. But I think I'll introduce that, rebalance it a little bit, and yeah, that would be so easy just to add like a little thing, especially if you wanted to conserve power, but you were like okay being in the dark. Maybe you're like just barely away from some oxygen, but you don't have any power to suck up the oxygen, so you turn off your headlamp and like go blind and try to save yourself. I think those kinds of scenarios are pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah, I think, and it would be cool just to like be able to see caves completely in the dark too. That's just something that would be interesting.
Okay, so we have one shuttle that's almost done. We have another one that's being built right now.
Okay, Furious Hippo asks, will you be adding more loot or something else to the caves? There isn't that much incentive to go there apart from copper, aluminum, and researchable items.
I disagree completely. There's a bunch of secrets to be found in the caves.
Yeah, it sounds like this person needs to just explore a little more.
Yeah. How good of an
that's not to say that's not to say we won't keep adding a lot of stuff, of course.
No, we're done. There's never going to be any more content for this game. It's done. It just sounds like this person needs to be better Astroneer if I could challenge him that way. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow, blame the fans.
Yeah. It's not our problem. It's their problem. No, I think obviously we're going to be doing more content, more quote unquote loot to be discovered. That being said, I would be surprised if somebody has actually found everything that we have in the game. There are some stuff in there that is extremely rare. But I mean, I could be wrong. There could be people that have played it for hundreds of hours already, and they have found everything. But we hear what you're saying. Content is a big one. That's my responsibility. That's Paul's responsibility for creating the content. And it's one of the biggest things that we are working on right now. So for sure, in the future, you will see stuff. But get out there and explore. Some planets offer things that aren't on other planets.
Yeah, I think we've seen in GIFs and images everything we've put in the game discovered by somebody, and but it would take a long time for one individual person to find everything. But I'm sure somebody's done it. If you know where to look.
Yeah, people are asking about the zebra balls, and I don't know what they're talking about. I've never seen a zebra ball.
Yeah, what's a zebra ball?
Yeah, maybe they hacked the game and put something weird in there. I don't know.
It must be one of those mods we just heard about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you did find a zebra ball, you could like maybe play with it, maybe with like a rover or something. But I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. Okay, sit rep. We've got two shuttle bases, chassis. We need seats, and we need some goods, and then let's GTFO and go to another planet.
Yeah.
Somebody asked a good question, and I'm just gonna like totally snipe Riley. How about custom beacons?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Custom beacons.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Big time. I was talking about the emoji system. You could see how that could fit into there, where you could put a beacon down and put like a happy face, just because that would be kind of cool to do.
Yeah, I think like having it be sort of symbolic, and maybe you can name them, and then other people would see that, but that kind of opens up the Pandora's box of other people seeing text that you've written, and so I've always been kind of cautious about that. But yeah, you should totally be able to, like, if it's near a compound vein, you should be able to somehow like point at the compound vein, and then any beacons maybe around you just get that symbol or something. Yeah. So there's that system where like you say words by clicking on the symbols, and maybe like the beacon's just like listening for anybody nearby who's gonna like say a word, right? Mm-hmm. And then if you do that, it'll like change the beacon symbol or something.
Yeah. Not to gloat because this is our game, but I'm looking at a screenshot or an image right now that is damn pretty. I'm gonna screenshot this just for my own record because this is really good.
I think beacons and stuff like that, and plantable flags definitely fall into the category of things that you're gonna progress towards. And new suits are also in that category. This is like where we're planning on having a lot of content in the game to allow people to customize their own kind of like experience and their look.
Yeah, that's a good one to talk about is suits. We've seen some discussions about it on our forum. And some questions about that, and there's a question of will we see female suits, will we see male suits? I think we're just going to see more suits, and I think one of the goals that we have with our suit designs is to push them in a direction where they can be customizable. And what I mean by that is allowing players to sort of define the suits themselves. If they wanted to look masculine or feminine, they can do that on their own. And by doing that, or to get there, we need to kind of continue this train of designs that are somewhat ambiguous in terms of if they're male or female underneath. And we looked at especially at the Pyro from TF2 to see how Valve treated it, because we think that they did a great job there. And we're trying to do that with our suits to the point where, and I'll see if you guys can hear it when I click or when I jump, it just kind of sounds like a little muffled noise there, because we didn't want to define who the person was that is in the suit themselves. That's really up to you, the player, to define that. I think maybe the OG suit is a little bit on the masculine side, but that's just me modeling it. We didn't really define these things ahead of time. And any new suits that we do try to push them in that sort of ambiguous direction, so that players are the ones that define the sex of the Astroneer, not us. Is that fair?
Yeah. My response to anybody who's like, "Why are there only male suits?" is "Are you sure?" I think anybody who wants to call themselves whatever they are under any of the suits should be free to do so. We don't tell you which they are.
Mm-hmm. Somebody just said these devs are the literal best. To that I say thank you, and to that I say you need to look at more devs. Because we're just scrapping along here trying to figure it out as we go.
I don't know. I think it's fair to say that we're the literalist pretty okay-ish.
Yeah, we're a 7 out of 10 so far.
Yeah.
7 out of 10 developer team.
Yeah, 7 out of 10 sounds good.
We strive to be a 10 out of 10. We thank you for the sentiment, but we have much more work to do.
How about
Totally found Compound Underground, by the way.
Yeah,
Oh my
see,
gosh,
that's
where?
awesome, right? Where are you? I want to see that. I want to come
There's
to you
a
and show.
cave near our base.
Oh.
We get some tethers down there, which we need Compound for.
Which suit are you? Are you the pajama suit?
I'm what we call the bio suit, which is kind of like the thin live suit,
Yep.
which I personally think looks more feminine. So there you go.
Yeah.
here's a bug issue that I don't know we need to probably talk about. Windows 7 Visual C++ runtime issue. I just got an email about it too.
Yeah, we touched on that a little bit before, but the recap is we're still working on it. We don't know exactly 100% what's causing the issue. We think it's because certain Windows updates aren't installed on machines, but we're still not 100% sure what's going on. That's at the top of our priority list, making sure that everybody can actually launch and play the game. So Brendan and I will definitely continue to look at that over the next week or so until it's fixed.
This is not a drill. There is a definite sandstorm about to make its way through our home.
You got walls.
Oh, I'm going to jump in on this quick little question.
Not on
is
this
Astroneer coded in C++? Yes, it is. It's all in C++. We are using the Unreal Engine, and yeah, the engine is all C++, and we do a little bit of Blueprint scripting as well. But yeah, it is all native code.
Awesome. Full transparency, just so you guys know that when you're live on me, our base is getting big. There's a lot of stuff going on. I am experiencing some performance degradation. So if the stream gets a little too choppy for you guys, let me know, and we can just sort of talk about rebooting things and starting from scratch again. But also to the guys that I'm on here with, if you guys are noticing any issues on your end, that might be a culprit of that.
I'm pretty smooth, actually. Thanks. The server has a lot to deal with.
Yeah, one of the current architectures of the way the server works is the server experiences a much bigger load than the clients themselves. The server is kind of authoritative, and it is the one that has to resolve all the actions that the clients are performing. So yeah, the server definitely has a bigger load.
And in this case, I am the server, so I would be experiencing it more than you guys would be.
I just had like the best like story experience ever. I've been like struggling to get back home for like the past like 10 minutes, just like stuck in caves and not finding my way out. And I was like at like the deepest, lowest cave ever. And I was like almost ready to die, and then I found some oxygen and some power that I could like use to get up to the next level. And I was like digging through. I almost died again, and then like with my last bit of power, I broke through, and like found some like more nuggets right there, and then did like the exact same thing again. And then right when I got to the surface, I literally emerged to the surface inside of Compound.
Sweet. Okay, Brandon, where the hell are you, man? I want to see this underground. Okay, I see the bubble suit. Where's Brendan at? I see pajama suit. Oh, I see Brendan. Is that Brendan?
I'm like west of the base, I think. Northwest a little bit, yeah.
Okay, I'm coming to you.
It's just to the side of the base.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
this feels great coming home.
Okay, show me this underground resin or compound that you found.
We need some. Well, we need some tethers down here.
Oh well, do we have any compound at the base? I guess that's.
It's a good like 3 oxygen trips to the southeast. So
Well-
it's a little bit of distance.
I'm just gonna take up all these tether lines. We don't need them anymore. I'm gonna hijack them.
Yeah, actually, a lot of people ask about that is if they can reorganize tether pools, and you absolutely can. Just grab them and throw them in your backpack.
Yeah, so I just printed 2 shuttle seats with all that.
I'm just gonna do a bit of house cleaning again because we're getting some of the same messages from the beginning of the stream. So for anybody watching, you guys are watching a game called Astroneer. It's been out on Steam Early Access, Xbox Game Preview, and Windows 10 Store Game Preview for about 6 days. It's brand new. We are the developers of the game. My name is Adam. I'm one of the artists and co-founders of the company. One of the artists on the game, one of the co-founders of the company. And with me are 5 of the other developers. There's a bunch of engineers with us. There's some content creators. The game's designer is here with us. And we are playing our game and just sort of shooting the breeze about what we're up to, where we're going, things like that. The reason I am doing this house cleaning again is because one of the things I talked about is the fact that there is a brand new, just an hour old patch that just got pushed to Xbox and Windows 10. And for a lot of people that were experiencing those performance issues, which I think might have been the majority of you, a lot of that is going to be fixed. So if you head to our forums, which is forums.systemera.net, head into the general discussions, you will see the patch notes there for Xbox. And also that patch is also live on Steam as well as now. So if you, once you're done watching us here, sync up, you'll see all the stuff that we're seeing, all the fixes that are in. I'm playing with 3 other people on my machine right now. It's playing really great. It's going to be even better when we are playing when you're playing single player. But for those Xbox users, the people on the Microsoft side, sync up to the game. You will have some good stuff there waiting for you. And let us know how it's doing through Twitter, through our forums, however you want to reach out to us. You can even email us. That's great as well. And we'd love to hear from you about that. So those Microsoft users, hopefully you guys will be pretty happy with that patch that we just pushed out.
Yeah. Point of clarity: if you are a Xbox Live player, the patches on Xbox Live roll out gradually to different places and different people. So some people have it right now, some people don't. Everybody is guaranteed to have it by midnight of the 24th GMT.
Okay. So it's a rolling update that'll come out eventually for everybody. Wow, we're getting
Yeah, I
slammed
just
by,
have to replicate you.
we're getting slammed by sandstorms again. Here comes another one. Oh.
This is bad. There's a sandstorm, so I can't move, and then there's these evil space pumpkins with the poison gas. I'm just like.
That's systemic stuff that we're such a fan of. The one is screwing you over for the other.
Also, I found some compound like in the middle of the mountain, and so I'm like trying to get back with that now. And like as I was on the top of the mountain, the sandstorm started rolling in, and I was like, guys, watch out.
Shit! I'm sorry to swear, but I'm watching a sandstorm come through our base, and it's actually pushing the vehicles around. I didn't know it did that.
It does a bit. I almost want to increase how much it does though, because it's a little light.
I gotta tell you, I kind of want like all the one-snap items to start blowing around too. Just to get unhinged sometimes and go flying and have to collect them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah. Actually, rip them off.
Yeah. Just like 1 in every 10 might go flying away or something like that.
So a few things actually talking about the storms. Segue. One, I think just calling out a bug that exists. Wind turbines don't spin faster in storms anymore.
Yeah.
I think they did on the PAX East build.
Yeah,
so,
they did. But Jay, what's going on there?
Oh, I don't remember ever implementing that, so I don't know how they ever worked.
Yeah, that was Andrew, I think, that did that.
Oh, okay, good job, Andrew.
So yeah, I think that's just the bug, and we'll get
can
it
we
fixed.
can we expect that to happen, Jacob?
Sure.
You heard it live on Twitch. He just committed, guys, so make sure he does it.
The other thing I think is being asked about is wind physics. Like how advanced is it in it? How like could I build a wind tunnel or stick wind turbines on a mountain and feed them down to my base? Basically, I'm kind of spitballing that, but I think that's what they're asking.
Who's got that? Certainly not me.
Sorry. I was like busy with something. Could you repeat it?
Sure. People are asking about wind physics and like how there's been a lot of questions, so I'm kind of like grouping them all into one. But basically, like right now, wind's kind of just like a static kind of random number generator, like from what I understand of it. But yeah, so is it going to be more advanced? Where like if I like deform terrain around something, it'll stop providing wind power, or maybe I can build 2 walls to funnel more wind into a turbine, and that will increase.
Yeah, so I mean, currently, if you build a wind turbine behind a wall, it does stop working. It's not very advanced, like was mentioned. Like a full wind sim. I don't think we'll ever do like a full wind sim or anything like that. But I mean, just making it more clever and more responsive, I think I agree is something that would be helpful.
Yeah, illusions are the name of the game when it comes to video games.
Yeah. Well.
All right. Are we ready? Just before we move on to another question, we got 2 shuttles. I'm looking at 3 seats. We need 1 more seat.
Yeah.
And then we just need a bit of hydrazine or fuel, and I think it's time to shake and bake after that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't know, Sabir, you were talking about this last time, a couple of days ago. But I don't know if it's you or Jacob that should talk about it, but like talking about more intricate and I guess more precise terrain tools. I mean, we've talked about how the creative update might have more size change, but like mainly flatten tool, right? Like a lot of people are having trouble with the flatten tool and not really kind of grokking how the planes work on it. Like, will that be improved?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think we've at least understood that maybe there's even the flatten thing can be split into 2 things, right? There's the idea of extending a flat plane, and there's also the idea of smoothing out a bunch of area, right? And there's also the add and remove that we have. So I think, yeah, you can definitely expect that we will build that out a little bit more and try giving you a few more modes, and also just improve the general feel of the tools themselves. But
I'm going to contradict you live on stream and say that I do want to keep it simple as much as possible. That doesn't mean that we won't work on it, but I don't necessarily want to have a mode explosion with it. I think I'd rather just improve what's there.
I'm going to be selfish and cherry pick a question for myself. Snoopish is asking, are the planets procedurally generated or are they handmade? And will there be more planets added, moons, maybe another solar system to explore, things like that? So the first part is, are the planets procedurally generated or are they handmade? And the best answer is they're kind of a mix of both. They're mostly procedurally generated. If you want the longer version, I've done a couple streams already where I've built an entire moon, I've built an entire planet, and you guys are the beginnings of both of those things. And actually, I think that moon is in the game now, and it's like 4 months old. It's somewhere around here. But the planets are built up of a few... Oh, before I die while I'm talking, let me just run back to my base. The planets are built up of a few biomes, and every biome is specific to the type of planet. So right now we have 6 type of planets. They are Terran, Arid, Barren, Tundra, Radiated, and Exotic. And each one of those has about 4 biomes that they're going to choose from. And I think anywhere between 2 and 3 of those biomes get used at a time. So every time you visit a planet, it's going to be a different makeup of biomes. And then within those biomes, like within this biome that I'm in right now, you'll notice it's got a little bit of blue on the ground. I think I saw some purple and some green. That every one of those biomes also has a handcrafted color palette to choose from that myself and the rest of the team will sort of go through and think of these color palettes and make changes on them. So it's things from the color of the sky down to the color of the terrain. And then if you notice, and just to get a little nitty gritty here, and I can do this really quickly, we use a system that Jacob threw together really early on, which I absolutely love. And it's this kind of complementary color system that we use. If you look at the plants that I've got on my screen right now, they adhere the color of the terrain. So when I author these, they're actually white. There's no color on them, or they're like a grayscale, different colors along the grayscale. And when these plants come in, they pick the color of the terrain, and then you'll notice on the other leaves here, if I can just zoom in really quickly, there is a bit of like that sort of browny yellow color. We use a complementary color system, so I can tell some faces of geometry to be the terrain color. I can also tell them to be the complementary color of the terrain, and that way. And then in addition to that, even these colors here, the sort of green and pink that I'm looking at, that'll be the complementary color on a different range, about 15 degrees on a color wheel, one way or the other. So I'm not handcrafting the colors. I'm not like saying, you know, I need this plant to be blue. I'm saying I want the terrain to be blue in this particular biome, and then any other plants that come in, or for instance the cubes that are on the ground in front of me, those will just grab the color of the terrain, apply it to the geometry, and go from there. And sometimes you'll get a little bit of bleeding. You'll see between two different biomes, you'll see one color come over to the other. Those are all just things that we'll sort of iron out as we go along if it's necessary. But that's sort of where the handcrafting versus the procedural comes into. So I set up these rules, mountains, riverbeds, things like that, cave systems. The game procedurally generates them based on those rules. Then it'll handpick some of the things like the list of the items I've chosen for it to spawn in there. Also the color palettes and things like that. So it's a bit of both. And I think that's why we land on such an interesting visual style where the game can be really pretty and kind of feel handcrafted, but also it's completely procedurally generated. And I still get surprised by the composition that the game will choose for these things. And that's why I actually just took a screenshot. I commented on it about half an hour ago because the game surprises me even, and I'm the one responsible for building these things. I think that's the long answer, and I'll shut up about that for now. Jacob, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Will there ever be jetpacks?
I saw that one too. That one's interesting. Yeah, I think yes. I think the answer is probably yes. At some point, at some level of progression, I think that's not one of those things that you just like start the game with that would just like completely change everything. It could be like one of those like a late game item that you have to like really work towards. I think like when you first start players off, like you don't want to throw all these things at them, and jetpacks kind of fundamentally changes the game.
Yeah. Oh, another sandstorm coming through.
And I think it's one of those things that could always be resource constrained. Like you'll need to craft the fuel and have like large amounts of fuel to use it. But I mean, obviously it'd be fun. In this game, it would be great. Like you could make jetpack courses out of terrain. Like there's just so much stuff that would be great about it. But I think stuff like that though is a good answer to like, well, what do you do once you've like eaten through all the content? Like it's good if you can come up with late game items because that just really extends the game's life in terms of how fun it is when you've been playing for so long, you know. So I think yeah.
I think that's a good answer. Okay, we're running at 80 minutes right now. We've got two. Oh wow, this one shuttle's getting beaten up pretty bad. We've got two shuttles. We still need one seat, so we need a little bit of compound. We've got some hydrazine. Why don't we blast off? We'll go to another planet. Or do we want to? Because my performance is kind of dropping a little bit here, so I'm hoping if we take off, it might increase. Or we reboot the whole thing and we do some fun stuff like build some racetracks or some slide tracks and things like that. What do you guys want to do?
Let's at least like blast off here and see what happens. And we can kind of end it on end this at least save game on a different planet or something.
Yeah, but why don't we? Okay, what do we have? We have 3 seats here.
Yeah, I mean we're good to go. I think the other one maybe needs like one more fuel or something.
We need another. Oh yeah, you got a 2-seater. Okay.
There's a rover seat on that shuttle. I hope I'm not riding in that slot.
Okay, well you have a sealed suit on at all times.
And I'm gonna mispronounce your name. I'm so sorry. And Bouget 5. Thanks for watching. See you later. I appreciate you spending some time with us as we watch. Okay. Who's got the hydrazine to fill up this one shuttle, and let's get the heck out of here, all of us.
Hydrazine.
Yeah, we need a little bit more.
The cave right next to the base has a bunch.
Oh, does it? I'm gonna go down really quick. Oh, I'm surfing because I'm badass.
There's some on the surface pretty close to the base. I'll grab that too.
Okay, let me know when you want me to come out, and I'll come out. I found some. Oh god. Oh jeez, it's these caves are these caves. These caves are... Shut up. These caves are. God, I can't even focus now. These caves are. Wow, it's doing it again. Jeez. This is embarrassing. These caves are pretty scary when there's no light source. It made me all self-conscious, Jacob. I hate you now. I found some hydrazine. I'm gonna grab this and get the heck out of here.
What about weather? Anyone want to talk about weather?
I want more weather.
So are there going to be more than Are there? I think that was
Definitely.
something Adam was working on quite a bit, or trying to work on.
Yeah, weather. I think. I mean, it's got to be one of those things where I have to kind of follow one step behind Jay with what he wants to do there. But I mean, there's some stuff that it seems like it would be really fun just to experience in the game. So like heavy rain, lightning storms, and the effects that those would have.
Even just cosmetically, I think those would give more variety to the planets. Like having different weather systems on the planets would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of give them a whole different mood, and then we can kind of improve the gameplay of them alongside of it. So like, if there's rain or something that's overcast and your solar panels don't work as well, or if it's super windy, your wind vans work better. Different atmospheres can influence which modules works. I mean, maybe the condenser only works on certain planets. Maybe we nix the condenser anyway, though, so we'll see. Yeah.
Okay, let's get out of here, guys. Jacob, get in this. Get in the shuttle with. Oh, Brendan's in here with me.
I'm coming with you.
All right,
Okay.
Who's on shuttle 2?
Yeah, you and Zabir.
Zabir, come on.
Should we synchronize our blast offs here and do it all together and be all badass?
If we do it just right, we could actually orbit near each other, which would be interesting.
Oh.
But we have to time it exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna count backwards from 3, and when I say 1, well,
1 is when we click.
Yeah, we click on 1. Okay.
All right.
On one.
On 1, from 3. 3, 2, 1. Oh, look at that!
All right.
Yes.
We're a touch behind, but that's good. It's fine.
It's okay. I mean, it's just it's because
awesome.
my shuttle's got the aerodynamic roof on it. You guys have that silly rover seat. That's what's
Oh
causing
yeah,
it.
exactly.
And I
We're not too far apart.
I knew you guys
You
programmed.
guys are just learning from Mark Watney over there.
Where are you guys? I missed you. Can I see you on my screen? Should I be able to see?
Oh yeah, no, you should be above us, or sorry, we're above you.
Oh, you're above us.
Should be.
I
I see you guys.
Okay. Well, I don't see you guys. That's
The,
okay.
the camera might be just a little bit too limited.
Okay. So we're not landing on this
should be able
planet.
to start,
We're gonna go somewhere else, right? Oh, who put in that new sound? Oh, I see us. Yeah, I see us floating beside each other. That's cool. That's cool. I've never seen that before. Awesome. Okay, so we got a barren planet and an exotic planet within range. Do we want to wait for another one to come by, or do we want to just drop on one of these ones?
It's gonna be a couple minutes before another one comes by.
By the way, Riley, did you add in like new like swoosh noise audio when I go to the solar view?
Yep.
Yeah, that's that.
We should go to Baron. Baron's cool
No,
because
hang
of
on,
the gravity.
hang on,
thing.
we got a couple coming in range here.
Oh,
Actually,
Hang
what does
on.
chat want to do?
Hang on. Yeah, what does chat want us to do? We got exotic. We've got barren. A new one just came into range, but I can't click on it. What is that one? Oh, that's irradiated. And it looks like tundra as well. What do you guys want? Somebody says exotic. I did exotic on the last stream, I think. Arid isn't. Arid's the one that I built on Twitch.
So pretty much every planet has been called out on chat. I don't know which.
Okay, let's do. Why don't we do barren just so that we can look back on our world and remember all the good times we had. So we are landing on our planet's moon, which is a barren archetype, and it's going to put us in orbit. So before we land on here, let's go ahead and talk about orbital mechanics and flight mechanic, and can we turn off the autopilot? That's a good question that we get a lot. Jacob, that's your wheelhouse. Take it away.
Yeah, so I think people will be happier with what we do in the creative update. I don't want to make too many promises for how the shuttle and the spaceship work, because I think like if it was fully piloted, there's just like no way you could ever go to a planet. It would just be too hard to do the trajectories. I mean, you'd have to go full Kerbal, which is not bad. It's just like that's a lot of work for us. I think we kind of discussed like one day you'll boot up the game and there will just be like this autopilot module that's stuck on the side of your existing spaceships that you can just rip off if you want to, and maybe that autopilot module is useful for other things to help automate your base or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as soon as possible we'd like to get some flying vehicle that you can pilot, It might not be the shuttle or the spaceship; those could still be used for interplanetary travel. But I think it'd be great to have a vehicle that you can pilot. It's also, there's a performance question, which is that if you can fly too quickly around the planet, sometimes the terrain generation gets outrun. So we have to be careful of that. But yeah.
Okay, good answer. Cool.
Yeah. Did you guys land, or are you're still?
No,
orbiting?
we're still in orbit. I wanted to give you a chance to talk about that while we were looking at it.
Actually, here's one. Actually, I'm gonna interrupt. I think I saw 2 people talk about this now. Someone's basically asking about the Xbox One multiplayer update happening and being like basically breaking multiplayer on it. And the complaint was, are we just focusing on working with PC players?
What do you mean breaking multiplayer?
Yeah, more detail. Right?
I don't know. I guess.
Like, is the recent?
Somehow...
Are they saying that the recent patch?
Well, I guess let me jump in and just lay the first part of the question. So absolutely not. We are not just focusing on PC. Xbox and Windows Store and PC will all be looked at simultaneously. We don't want to let any one platform fall behind. If there are any bugs right now, we're not aware of anything specific regarding like multiplayer not working on Xbox. So if there is, we definitely would like to hear about it.
Yeah, if you can give more detail, that would be good. I think what you might be seeing in the period when the update goes out, some people have the update, some people do not have the update. And if people have different versions of the game, they will not be able to connect to each other.
Yeah.
So that may be what you're seeing right now.
So we may need to wait until, what was it? You said the 24th? For everybody to get it and then to come back to this issue? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay and Zabir, we have touchdown. See if you guys can find us.
Yeah, so here's the thing that we need to fix still. I think we need to make it so that all of the landing zones have multiple landing spots, because watch what happens here.
Oh no.
Yeah, so we'll get that fixed too. We'll do a similar thing with the drop pods on the starting world, where they kind of land next to each other. But yeah, for now, that's how that works.
Just make them stack up like a totem pole. You could just have all your buddies that make this little pod totem pole.
Well, it's funny because it's like down to the exact decimal place. It's in the exact same spot, and so you can't even tell them apart right now.
Oh, guys, hang on a second. Get everybody line up. This is a group photo. This is our next album cover. Get beside me here. You look badass when you guys.
Right.
Yeah. Every 3, 2, 1. We're all gonna wave. Yeah, let's all wave. There we go. Look at that. Hi, everybody. I'm gonna scratch my head because I'm always just confused. Huh? There we go. So these are the 4 suits. We got more suits coming. Promise. Okay, so we landed on this planet. What do we want to do? Do we want? I can quickly start fresh, and we can just mess around and build something. We could try to build it here, but I wouldn't mind just giving it a quick reboot.
Well, if you reboot, they're not going to be on that planet.
No, we won't be on this planet. We'll just go back to the starting one. Whoa, that planet. Is this our last planet? The one that's right up there? Is this the one that we were just on? Yeah, this looks like it.
Yep, with the clouds, yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, I mean, one thing we could do is build like a buggy ramp on this one, but we'll have to build up to that, and there's not a lot of resin and stuff on this planet.
No, I
It'd
think
probably be easier, actually.
I think it's actually
just start over and do that.
Yeah, I think it's mostly in the ground. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna go ahead and kill the server. We've got this planet to come back to later, and this game to come back to later, but we are gonna start fresh. I'm gonna go ahead and shut us down now, guys. I'm gonna switch over. Where am I here? Where's all my good-looking tools? Okay, so I've closed down. I think you guys have closed down too. I'm gonna go ahead and launch again, and we're just gonna have some fun now. We're not gonna play the survival stuff so much. We are just gonna sort of. I think we might build a racetrack and do some rover stuff. So we'll have to beeline it and get us some rovers, which I think is just compound and resin mostly. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we get a better dice roll on that compound for this this planet we're gonna get. It's gonna be a brand new planet.
And yeah, while it's relaunching, I guess if you are still having problems, I guess probably the best way to either reach us is either our personal forums or just emailing us directly. Like we're reading everything. We're trying to go through everything. we're not always responding like right away with a solution, but everything that gets to us through email, we're absolutely seeing.
Yeah, and for gameplay suggestions, which I often have to filter through, I think I prefer the forums for that, because if you have a suggestion and you make it and other people respond to it, that kind of filters things out a little bit easier. Plus, I can just see what different people's perspectives on it, rather than just being like, kind of like I mentioned earlier, somebody wants this game to have, it's like guns or something, and then like seeing people actually discuss is what is most helpful to me.
Here's
System Air guys, go ahead and join.
Here's a topical one. Adam, you probably need to relaunch your open up your friends list again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're offline.
Go ahead, guys.
So one question came up. I think it was using Subnautica as an example. But actually, we were just talking about this today. The in-game bug submitting features like Subnautica, because that's another option. That
Bug and suggestions. Yeah, who wants to pick up that one?
Yeah, I think we definitely would like to do that as well. It's just going to be a balance between how much time we spend towards some of our infrastructural pieces like bug submission forms versus working on performance or features and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's definitely on the radar.
Yeah, we want to make it as easy to have one-way communication between you guys and us, and our forums and the Steam forums are a good way to do that. It's not the best solution right now, but it's the one that we have, and we are using it quite a bit. But we are big fans of what is happening in Subnautica and features like that, where you're just sort of in the game, you're able to get that feedback as it comes to you. When you guys are joining, let me know. Oh, I see somebody coming in.
Incoming.
Who's that? Is that Jay? That's Jay.
That's me.
I'm dropping in now as well.
And I can confirm that there is compound aplenty on this world.
About time.
Yeah, we just need. I've already done the first aluminum, or excuse me, the first vehicle bay. We just need aluminum now.
Yeah, regarding different graphics options, some people are asking. Yes, they will probably be in January or February.
Jay, what's the best way to find aluminum?
You can.
Is it a cave thing or a surface thing?
Yeah, the fastest, most consistent way is just to make a smelter and then yeah, go to the caves.
And what are we smelting into aluminum?
Shoot, I forget the name.
Is it one of the?
It's whichever is the aluminum ore. It's like maybe laterite.
Laterite, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a vehicle bay. We just need the aluminum to start pumping these guys out, and I'll start collecting compound. If somebody wants to focus on aluminum, and maybe somebody else actually wants to get started on building a track for us to ride these rovers around on.
Okay, so I got a really important thing that we have to talk about. Earl Joy 29 is asking the hard questions, which is, do you have a name for the evil farting plants? This is like really important. I think we have to nail it down. I think Paul had originally called them pumpkins.
No.
But I think we have to end the stream with a definitive name for these plants.
Well, the file. Actually, maybe Paul should say this, but what the file name is actually called. I think it's.
Paul's not here anymore.
Oh, he's not here anymore.
He had to go to the airport.
Good. I'm gonna say what it's called. But anyway, the file name, the actual what we exported from 3D Studio Max is Space Pumpkin, and that's mostly because we are not the best at naming things. There's also the other plant's called the spiker, and the other one's called the popper. The other one's called the tumbler. So you will notice that when it comes to naming things, the artists on the project are not the greatest.
I've heard people call them tomatoes, gaseous tomatoes.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Evil tomatoes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure. I mean, especially the people that want to sort of, work on our wiki for us, or help us with our wiki and do all that kind of stuff, we do need to have a better name for them. But for now, it's Space Pumpkin and Spiker and Popper and Tumbler. And what's the what are the ones in the cave? What do we call those ones?
Cave worms.
Cave worms. Yeah. There's cave worms, which are
Another really clever name.
Jeez. If anybody out there is good at naming things.
So we got a few Killer Tomatoes, Death Tomatoes,
Yeah.
Bubbling Death. Let's see.
Like they're like the worst onions you've ever encountered.
This is pretty good one. Gas holes.
Yeah, I like that one.
Somebody asked, like, why should they kill you if we have spacesuits on? And I think that the answer is obvious, right? Like it's totally acid gas.
Yeah.
It's gonna break down your suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has nothing to do with air.
Yeah, and once and for all, filters do not protect you from space pumpkins. They're for oxygen.
Astroneer 2002 suggests gassy scrotum sack. You're not going to be our first hire for naming things, sir. Yeah, it sounds like the perfect opportunity for a community naming event. If we did that, they're going to be called Planty McPlanterson, so we're not going to we're not going to do that. What's the zebra ball? What is the zebra ball people keep talking about?
There's like this cult of the zebra ball up there. It's strange.
I think it's one of those graphic cards issues. It's just like the Nvidia cards or the other guys are, there's these little marble balls that show up that we've never heard of before. I'm just reading the Hail Zebra. Oh gosh.
Well, we came up with like 80 names.
Yeah.
I don't know which.
Okay, Spelunkers, where's that aluminum at? What's the sit rep on aluminum?
We just need some power for the smelter. Is all.
Got it. I can do power. Or wait, no, I can't because the sun is away.
I just want to say that many fatty suits died to bring you that aluminum.
Appreciate it. Talk future plans about survival. Example, hunger and farming. That is from Brendan B. Go, Jay, go.
Farming is the best. Is going to be the best feature ever when it's in.
So here's sorry, go ahead. I'll let you finish this and have an anecdote.
Yes, I mean like full blown like survival plus farming would be awesome. I think like we don't just want to add like extra survival bars that you just have to play whack-a-mole with all the time. I think like if there's hunger in the game, we want to make sure it doesn't just become annoying. But I think water is actually probably primarily more interesting in the short term for that. And then yeah, of course, I think farming our game would be amazing because you can literally till the ground for the plants that you want to make.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely like something we would really love to get in.
Okay, and to spin on that, Jacob, with water, are you talking about like liquid water? Because that's been another question I forgot to bring up.
If we want to do water that's like fully simulating, that's extremely difficult. I think that's a very long-term thing. There could be water planets where there's like a water line, and I think that would be interesting. There's a lot more definitely a lot of gameplay possibilities with that. So I mean, imagine we have this slot system that's extremely general. Like you can put wherever there's a slot, you can put something on it. You can put like a crane on it. You can put a drill on it. And so I mean, in the future, at some point, you'll be able to build a boat and put like a drill in the front of the boat, and you'll have like a drill boat. And you can like dig holes in the walls and the possibilities are endless.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think like if there's ever like a vehicle update, maybe we'll do water with that. Simple water, not like simulating water, but like just enough that you can build a boat and like go around on it and like scour the edges of the shore for resources and like bring them back to your base in the boat and build like different customized boats. Like and here's the real kicker. If you could build a landing platform on a boat and have a spaceship come down and land on that boat, that's game over. That's game over for getting Elon Musk to play our game.
Yeah.
That's actually the only reason why any of us are doing this.
Yeah.
It's just so that can happen.
Okay, smelter's getting power. We've got 2 laterite. We are going to need... Oh, no. Once we have 1 platform, we can just build all the rovers we want with compound.
Oh, man, someone mentioned submarines. That would be amazing.
I'm starting to get the shell of a racetrack happening.
You know, I don't want submarines. I want the... What was that thing that the foot soldiers from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had where they would dig into the ground? It had a giant drill on the front of it. Somebody in the Twitch... Or the Twitch. Wow, jeez. Somebody in the Twitch. What was that?
Hold up. They're not called foot soldiers. It's the Foot Clan.
The Foot Clan. So what did they drive that had that giant drill on it? Because that needs to be in this game at some point, I feel.
Was that the Foot Clan, or was that like Rocksteady and Bebop had their like drill van thing?
It was. I just know it was in the Turtles and the bad guys drove around on it. Now people are saying Twatch. Gosh, my words. Words, how do they work? No, not the Technodrome. The Technodrome was the big one. Subterranean vehicle, snooze fest. I mean, it needs to be a better name than that. Yeah, we're gonna race. It's called a tunnel drill. Okay. Yeah, you're right. It's called. There's a boring machine and stuff like that. We could call it there. I thought the ones from the TMNT had a specific huge effing drill. This person said, so that's a good one. Tunnel borer drill. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So we have a vehicle bay. It is being powered. I've got a bunch of compound. We are going to build a rover. And we're going to race. Okay, 1 rover coming up. It needs seats, but I've got the goods for that. Oh, who's leeching all my power? Okay. You over here. And you over here, thank you. Oh, what? Okay, hurry up. No. Jay, is there logic behind the power distribution? So if how is it deciding what gets powered first before the other thing?
I think it's primarily, so I mean it prioritizes your suit and like survival items first. I need to take another look at that though. It might be a little wonky.
Okay.
But it also prioritizes near items. So I mean you can switch a power item from being next to like the vehicle printer to being next to the smelter, and that will make the smelter fill up first. It always looks for the closest highest priority items.
Sound Nico says it was called the mutant module, which is actually kind of fitting for our game. One person's asking, are we going to talk about deleting things in this game?
Oh yes, that's probably a huge one.
No, that topic is off topic. I'm sorry.
That's a big one. So there's dynamite in the game. It just doesn't do anything to your base items. I think it'd be cool if it was always some sort of cost to deleting your base items, but you still have the option. So maybe like you build a little charge and you can like blow up your base item. And then maybe you can upgrade to the point where you slap a drill onto a crane and you can grind down your base items and actually get some of the resources back, so it's not like a total waste.
Yeah, I thought you had the drill. The drill was doing something like that at one point, wasn't it? You could
used to. I think we have to figure out some sort of tech arty solution for like what it looks like when you're grinding something down. Maybe it's like the opposite of the printer effect.
It's like reverse printing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just
which I guess segues into a question that other people had, which was what is scrap for? Which that kind of is where it fits into.
What is scrap for, Jay?
Right, scrap. I think originally I was thinking that like, well, anything you do grind down, you just get scrapped back. It's like an amalgamation of a whole bunch of resources, and then you can use that to trade for whatever resources that you want, obviously at a big discount. Because it could work like that. The other option would be it just grinds down directly into the resource that it came from. But I think it'd be cool if there's just one more resource that is kind of like you can just trade between that resource, and that's kind of why the trade module is still important. We just need to maybe balance it.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
I got. Does anyone have any copper?
No, sir. We are 1 power cycle away from another complete rover.
Okay, so I have 2, but I'll start with the hopefully shorter question first. People are asking about maps and bigger beacons or getting lost and stuff like that. Will there be maps or GPS systems or anything like that in the game?
Maps. Man, I haven't thought about maps in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like the beacons are sort of like in-world, markers on a map that looks suspiciously like the world. I think a map would be cool. I think it would obviously be something that you print. It's not like something you like click on in the menu, right? Just to fit into like the theme. It could be like you kind of like open up the map and it's like this little hologram of like your immediate area that you've explored or something. Maybe it's like I think that's what's neat about mid to late game items is that like when they occupy a slot in your backpack, like that's like a choice that you make, and like everyone always maybe has like a tank and a battery and a map in their backpack, and you have to like just carefully choose which things you're bringing around that will help you the most in your travels. And then of course you have consumables and stuff that can always fill up the rest of it, but there's like a limited amount of space in your backpack, and you can kind of outfit it with these different things that will be useful to you in different circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
A map could be one of those things.
Brendan, did you still need copper?
Yeah, that would be handy so I could pull the generator
Yeah, here.
and get power at night.
Here, come get it.
Okay, so a lot of people are, I think, discovering there's a height limit to these maps, and so the question is, why is there a height limit? And I mean, it's a technical reason. I don't know, Jacob, you want to talk about terrain?
Yeah, I thought the height limit was way less than it actually was. I'd never actually spent the time to like go up to see how. But it's fixed per planet, and that's, I mean, there are definitely technical reasons for that. It's you kind of think of it that like the bounds of the planet have to fit within a cube of a certain size, and if you make that cube just too big, you're just kind of like wasting performance. We could probably handle the height limit better, but it could get kind of tacky if like if as the moon is going by, it like intersects this giant bridge that you've made, because there's not really a way to handle that. So yeah, I don't know. We might think about making that more interesting somehow, but it's not a huge priority.
But I mean, yeah,
So
just to add to that, you're when these planets are built from the outside in, right? Like it's not like basically the tech of the voxels is from like we're building them outside in, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Oh, I thought when,
Well, yeah, the construction is sort of like top down. Essentially, we can't have the entire world fully high res all the time. So we start with a kind of a top down approach, and it reses in higher resolution terrain chunks the closer you get to it.
So besides that, though, the fact that people are asking me about the height limit and people have built up to it is very impressive to me.
Yeah.
No, it's like actually a mile above the ground, what the actual limit is in like Astroneer units. So yeah, it's like.
But when you think about it, like every planet is kind of its own sandbox, which makes sense because they're all moving relative to each other. So if you could imagine that the whole solar system was like a single, voxel grid or something, then like where you could actually build bridges between the planets, it would be very strange to envision what would happen if they were all moving at the same time.
Jake,
I think
it's just
Okay,
just stuck with something really quickly. Am I able to grab the conduit from the rover and replug it back into my base?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just drive it up to it, and you need to get rid of this thing here, and then you'll see.
Like I saw the hologram, but now I can't actually grab the conduit. There's no power. I'm trying to power it once the base is up.
You just need to get it close enough to the base, and then an automatic one will appear, and then you can just click on that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, once the hologram appears, right?
Yeah, but it just needs to be moved just slightly closer.
Mm-hmm.
well, it's out of battery, so you can't.
Yeah, it's got no juice.
Yep. Oh, the sun's coming up here.
Space stations and satellites. That's always a
Yes.
question.
They're there. You will. I think we've talked about space stations and satellites as things
Cool.
that we will aspirationally like put in the game and be able to build one day.
So now oh, I see. Maybe it needs power to do it, because now I lost the hologram. Anyway.
What is with the Steam VR Oculus Home launching on start? I've never seen that. Is it some technical problem with Unreal Engine?
Oh yeah, Brendan, I think it might have. Wait, so was the fix in the project file? Was that where the fix was?
Yes. Did you forget to sync that?
No, it's synced. I always have it checked out because you need it writable.
Yeah, but the reason it happens is yeah, we goofed and accidentally left the plugin checked on.
Yeah, so yeah, we just need to re-upload the build with that fix. That'd be simple.
Okay, guys, we're coming up to 2 hours. We've got 2 rovers. We just need a bunch of compound and some power to do this race of ours.
Someone needs to start building a tunnel through that mountainside. I'm disappointed that no one's done that yet. Like a big racetrack tunnel.
We're also about to get slammed here by another sandstorm.
Because that oval track is a little boring. I think you guys can spice it up a little bit.
Oh, I'm just getting started. Riley.
Okay.
Jeez,
Okay.
man.
Okay.
Wow. Huh. Critical.
Not the backseat drive, but totally backseat.
Jacob, I just noticed a bug. The solar panels are working in the sandstorm. What is this? Come on, man.
Flipping tables.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay, 2 fully powered rovers. Good to go.
Oops. There's with. Oh wait, where is it? Oh man, I keep losing these questions. Okay, so in the reveal trailer, it seemed like there was base parts that were manually placed and connected. Will we ever see that? Because that's how it was for a while, the base building aspect. And Jacob, you kind of changed it. I think this summer. I mean, in the E3 build that we had was still like that, and we kind of switched it between the E3 and PAX West.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else that you would want to customize with the current mechanics that you can't already. Because I mean, like you saw the thing where you can re-plug in conduits to wherever they go, and that's like the new way to do power connections. It's just on a more like base level scale than it used to be. Because like it used to be, oh well, you could like put a battery on the ground and like connect the connection to the base, but like why not just put the battery on the base? It's the same thing.
I think people are more specifically asking about being able to reposition buildings that they've already positioned and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that would just go into being able to destroy it and then rebuild it. Because they are meant to be like buildings, like they're like you built them, and so I mean maybe we could also have like be a crane thing that you could like move it with a crane or something because it's big.
The winch, the crane and a winch.
Something like that.
And yeah, I'm gonna talk for you, Jacob, because I don't think you're quite getting the feeling of it. But yeah, like originally when you just placed like little items, it didn't really feel like it was a base. It just felt like you had some junk like in a location. And I think that's the way it felt for a while. And then there was kind of this missing piece of the puzzle, which when you added the base building elements, it actually felt like you had a home to come back to.
Yeah.
And it felt really personal. And like once we added the actual buildings instead of just random modules that kind of dug into the ground, it really changed the way the game felt. So that's kind of why it evolved from that original reveal trailer of just like little pieces on the ground that you connect.
Yeah, and I can see what people might think would be like missing now, like this kind of like really personal thing where you're sort of like wiring up some sort of like complex machinery with you know, and I think we can work back into stuff that kind of brings that aesthetic back into the mix. But yeah, I think we were trying to solve the wrong problem there with the power connectors. Like we needed base items, but we didn't have any base items. Yeah.
Owen Lopez is asking us, will you guys play community save games for instance Astroneer Maze? So I think we saw that today. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be
Like,
awesome, actually.
A lot of the community stuff is really cool. I love the slide that people have made.
You know,
I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. We should actually talk a bit about that because I think that's one interesting thing that came out of this game just being released for us is that we never anticipated people sharing, first getting so attached to and sharing save games. right? Like that's a whole thing that kind of came out of this where we didn't intend for that to happen. We didn't think it was gonna be something that people wanted. And now with like those like sliding maps, and we just saw somebody today make a pretty complex maze. That's a whole part of this that we didn't anticipate, and we would absolutely love to sort of adopt as we go through this game.
Yeah, that's just really awesome to see. And like to the earlier question about mods, like that's kind of like the very first manifestation of what you might think of as mods in the game, or at least as like user generated content, where we might be able to provide in the future ways for people to expose their works a bit more directly.
First person camera.
Oh, let me show this. That's a good thing to do. Where's my Xbox controller? Okay, on my camera, I've got my Xbox controller. It's upside down, but whatever. If you okay, I'm playing with Xbox. If I bring out my tool, so we kind of have a first person. It's only really with the controller. Maybe this is something we bring over to PC. But if I have my terrain tool out and I press left trigger, I kind of go in this little first person view, which is kind of cool. And
yeah, that was something I put in to give gamepad players a bit more precision with the cursor, and it was something that gamepad controls came in very quickly, and it was a quick way to achieve that. So we'll see. They're going to keep evolving. They do need work, and we're gonna add more context sensitivity to gamepad, but and maybe think about bringing that kind of thing to keyboard and mouse as well.
Maybe.
I think everything has an asterisk maybe on everything that we're saying. Okay, I want us to wrap up soon. So let's get one more rover, and then what I'll do is I'll watch you guys race. We're almost done the rover. We just need we need to power the vehicle bay and then put a seat on it. But there's 2 other fully charged rovers for you to go. Poor Brennan is like slowly slaving away in this thing and just running out of power. Is this gonna be big enough for a sweet jump?
I was gonna put a jump on like we put jumps in the corners, so if you screw up, you get to fly out of the ring. Of course, you also need to jump into the ring.
It's looking a little lumpy, but
yeah, I'm trying to flatten it out right now.
I'm just gonna rage quit and let Riley join the game and go this racetrack himself.
Sounds like Riley just signed himself up for track designer of.
I mean, I think Adam and Paul and I made a really cool track for that one GIF a while ago.
Oh, the Olympic one?
Oh, yeah.
Luna Starling.
Smooth is boring. Lumpy is fun.
Luna Starling 69 asks, will you guys marry me? I just love your game so much. Yes, we will marry you. All 6 of us will marry you. Thank you for asking that.
Isn't that illegal in most states?
Don't care. We're going to do it. This is what early access is all about. We give the fans, the players, the features that they ask for. And if it's the 6 of us to be husbands, we're in.
My girlfriend may have an issue with that, but
Don't care. Then you're fired if you can't marry our players.
A question about vehicles. Could you guys make vehicles move and turn relative to the car axis instead of the player's camera?
Well, if we did that, we'd have to change it for everybody. And so it's kind of a question of making the default one what works for at least 50% of the people. Maybe we can have an option for it.
You former Halo developers just come into this game and just start screwing around with the driving. And it's all Warthog.
Yeah, we are extremely biased towards Warthog style controls. That is true.
The first time I picked up the game when I joined, I instantly knew how to drive the vehicle. So yeah, if you've ever played a Halo game, it feels very similar.
Yeah, just for a bit of context, the joke that I'm making is that I think 4 out of the 6 of the people on this game worked on Halo, to various capacities. So that's why I think the current driving is a little familiar to anybody that's played Halo before. I personally hope we have other schemes in there sometime, because I've never been that big of a fan of Halo's driving, but I'm used to it now in our game, and I've come to appreciate it. But I can understand where the sentiment is coming from.
This is like some religious war kind of stuff. It's kind of like inverted versus default. It's like robble, mine's better. Well, of course it'd be like this. And so you just give them the option. No one can complain.
So I guess that is a good broader point, though. I mean, we're getting a lot of questions that are not small things by any means, but there's a lot of questions of like, hey, can you improve this or can you improve that? And I think those are all known issues that we have, that we want to improve. But again, like with anything with game development, it's a matter of time, and for us, and time is the most valuable commodity we have with a small team. So there's a ton of things that are coming that are planned, but it's just a matter of how we prioritize things. And right now, like obviously the bug fixes are the biggest ones of like crashes. Like people should at least be able to play the game on all, no matter what their setup is. So save game fixes, improvements with multiplayer functionality, just a lot of quality of life things are coming. It's just going to take some time.
Who's that driving? Is that Brendan trying to test out his track right now? I just took a rock to the face. Looks like Brandon's doing a lap here.
Did you just get killed? Yeah, I'm testing my track in a storm, which is just ideal conditions. Worst case scenario testing.
I just died like 2 or 3 times in a row.
Yeah, you just got beamed really bad.
I'm gonna stay back at the base and hide in this habitat.
Adam, you've heard what some people call these storms?
What?
The UPS storms, because they're
The brown boxes?
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Oh my god, that's pretty good. We should do a FedEx one that throws arrows at you as well.
I've heard Amazon Prime delivery.
Yeah.
That's right. We need drones.
Actually, somebody did ask about drones. The question was, what about drones?
Drones would be neat. It could be like something you could control from a distance, and it would have like some slots on it or something. I don't know. No promises.
Yeah, I'm personally very partial to like having some sort of like security camera system.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. Need to smooth this corner out.
Yeah, this
Someone's cartwheeling there.
this racetrack is how do I say it?
I think I know what you're saying.
You're saying don't let Brendan build the racetrack next time.
Yeah.
Don't let Brendan spend an hour building something, because it's going to turn out to be just an oval.
You guys are brutal.
Oh, I'm just saying, you know, if you're gonna sign up to build us a racetrack, make sure you've seen at least one race in your okay, let's end this thing. We've got I'm sorry, Brendan.
I guess Astroneer NASCAR is not happening.
At least you're not allowed to touch it. That's all we're saying. I love you, Brendan. I'm sorry. Okay, we've got 3 rovers. It's 8 o'clock. I want to on my end. I want to get moving on here. I've got work to do.
Correction, we have 4 rovers.
Oh, we do. Oh, that was awesome.
I think this is going to be a lot more entertaining than you imagine it is, Adam.
Okay, do we want to just get the rovers in there and, I don't know, battle to death?
Well, someone's low on power there. They need to get like a generator on that. Here, I'll bring him a generator.
I got one.
Who's low power? Okay, you're good. Cool.
There's like rocks in this thing. Oh, come on. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'm ready to go in mine.
Get out of here, you stinking rock.
I thought you were going to build a jump. At least have one jump.
Oh my god, who put a obstacle? All right, where's the starting line?
All right, thanks, Adam, for making a jump.
I didn't even make a jump. I'm just trying to move these rocks out of the way.
Oh, I thought you were making a jump. Gotta make a bump.
There's like
Make something.
okay, climbing up. Okay. Okay, hang on a second. I'm just gonna.
Now it's night in your solar panel. It's not.
Wait.
It's like, Jesus, get out of my way! Get out of my way!
What if I hook up to you while we're moving?
I think you have to get out of the rovers right now to connect them, but you can change that.
Oh, jeez, my perf
Whoa.
is my perf is like not happy with me right now.
Where did my generator go? I flipped and lost my generator. I'm out of power.
Oh, good, another sandstorm's going by.
All right. Well, let's finish the track and wrap it up. I don't know what you're doing, Adam.
I was gonna build as a ramp instead.
We'll just do one race, 5 laps.
Okay, here's the
Hold on,
starting.
we gotta define the starting line. Okay, starting
Place,
line is the giant.
place a tether down, like a tether line. As the.
All right, hold on.
Ro Electro asks, how can you flatten like that? If you are on the PC version of the game, you just hold down Control. I'll show you really quickly here. So I've got this little blob I just made. If I wanted to flatten it, I will hold Control down, and if you kind of look where your cursor is, it'll try to flatten the terrain to the sort of plane that you're on while you're doing it. So you'll see here it just sort of flattens it out that way. But if I add in, and if you kind of look where my middle of my cursor is and I hold Control now, it'll kind of average that out and flatten it out on that.
So, Zabir, did you get launched into space?
I did. I got knocked out with the storm, and my rover went flying.
So,
Is this a 3-person race right now?
yeah. So I guess that's a good. I mean, that's another one that we'll be constantly updating is the certain bugs with like random physics freaking out, especially on multiplayer. And so again, that's another one that will come in time.
Nah, I'm just never gonna fix that.
Okay, Zabir, come.
Sounds like a feature.
Zabir, come drive my rover, and I will. I'll spectate. Gandalf331 asks, how often do we work on the game?
Every day.
How often do we not work on the game?
Yeah, that's the one that's harder to answer. Is when are we not working on the game? I probably won't work on the game on Christmas Day. I'll probably be a little too busy. Oh, we have 4 rovers now. Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, the rover was here. I just got knocked out.
Oh, okay. So we don't need mine. So where's mine at?
All right.
Okay.
All right. How many laps?
Though I
Fun.
think this is going to be a pretty short race for me. I see I only have 1 bar of electricity.
Oh, let me help you.
I'm in a rover.
This
I'm in a rover that has no electricity. So
This is like real NASCAR then. Brennan built a NASCAR race because you have to do pit stops for fuel.
All right, we should be good to go.
no, mine doesn't have any.
Wait. Yeah, there you go.
So I was asking how content patches work. Will you be releasing small things here and there, or as big patches as goals, purpose, themes? I think both.
Yeah, Steam, we can be a little bit more nimble and get patches out to you a little bit quicker. But at the same time, because of that, we might introduce some bugs here and there. On the Xbox and Windows Store side, there's a little bit more of a curation process, so the patches there will be a little bit bigger, but because of that, it'll probably be a little bit more stable. So, but more or less, yeah, they'll sort of stay in sync.
So what we're gonna try to do is the main branch of Steam, like now that we're past release and we're past the sort of emergency hotfixes that had to go in, we're gonna try to keep the main branch of Steam synced up with what's on Xbox, and the beta branch of Steam will be more or less exactly what's kind of mainline in our depot.
No.
I think we should race.
All right, yeah, let's go. Ready,
All right.
go.
First one around
Oh my gosh.
5 times.
5 laps, go.
5 laps. All right. Gosh.
Oh, rocks. Look out for the rocks.
No.
These fucking warthog controls. Ah! Who's that just passed? Who's in first now? Yes!
No.
Yes!
Oh no, I got thrown.
Go, UPS Storm, go!
Ah. I shouldn't have tried to ram you. That was a bad choice.
Oh no.
I think I'm on my second
back.
lap, or this is my third now, I think. I'm in the lead for sure.
Lap 3.
I'm on 3.
Oh, I rolled again.
Someone hit Adam. He's winning.
Yeah. Oh, I just saw somebody teleport away. That was hilarious. Who's running around?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
you
that was
cheater.
me.
You cheater. Ah, I tried to take you out. Zabir, I thought you were going to try to build a jump for me to go over.
Oh god.
I think I'm going to win. Oh, I ran out of power!
So
Oh, God.
You need a pit stop. Oh geez, I just got launched.
Quickly, I need organic.
Lap. What do you, I'm thinking. No, you're cheating. You're thinking of the track.
Yeah, I need power. I
Should
took
have brought
out,
a solar panel.
oh, shut up. I brought... I took out the plants. Oh, I'm going to pass you. Yes! No! No! Ah, Brendan wins. That's it. Damn you. I'm gonna call conspiracy that the guy that made the track won it. I'm just gonna say that ahead of time. Okay. Okay, so to recap. You guys have been watching us play Astroneer. We are the developers of the game. We just had a little bit of fun here playing. I'm gonna put air quotes up, a racetrack. Sorry, Brendan, I love you. Earlier, you saw us build a big base, and we're doing some exploration, checking out some of the new stuff that's gone in. About 30 minutes before this Twitch stream started, we pushed updates across all platforms. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Who just did that to me?
I think I just nuked you into the world.
Oh, dude, I'm like going through the octrees right now.
You're in the upside down.
I am in. Oh, I'm slowly bubbling to the top. Oh, hello. That's a little thing in the ground there.
Yeah, just more to recap. I think we missed a lot of questions. There was a ton flying by for most of the chat. Sorry if we didn't answer anything. You can always ask them in a forum, and we can talk about it. Yeah, and and again, like there's a lot of quality of life improvements that can be made in the game. There's a lot of small things. There's a lot of big things that will just slowly trickle out. And again, just remember it's in a pre-alpha build state. There's a lot left to do for the game.
Yeah, so I also I was going to quickly mention that Steam, Xbox One, and Windows 10 store customers, everybody has just had a build get pushed. On the Microsoft side, it's going to be a slow trickle. It doesn't happen immediately like on Steam. So if you're not updated right now, where you're still seeing some performance issues, just give it until about the 24th for it to roll out globally. We are working on those things. Steam users, it should be up there now. I just haven't published the patch notes yet on our Steam forum and game forum, company forum. Guys, where are you? Do you guys want to meet up at the base really quick? Where's our base? There it is. We'll say goodbye all together. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys like this format where we sort of just kind of shoot the breeze on the game, talk about things to come, answer some of your questions live. Let us know on the forums. Let us know on Twitter, Facebook, wherever you're talking to us. It's a new thing that we've tried that we wanted to do because we are pretty excited about how it's been going, and we love talking about the game and sort of seeing the questions and doing that with you guys. And we can always organize these more in the future. And so keep in touch. Twitter.com/AstroneerGame, Facebook.com/AstroneerGame. You can check us out on astroneer.space. We are everywhere. On the count of 3, guys, let's all wave bye-bye, and then we will end it. 3. Or wait, what did I say? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
See you guys. Thank
See
you so
ya.
much.
See ya.